I used to be a very heavy user of Emacs, and you'll notice the past tense in that sentence because over the last few months, my Emacs usage has fallen off a cliff. And I want to talk about and reflect a little bit on why that is because there might be some general lesson in there. So, on this channel and on my blog as well, I've made a fair amount of Emacs content. And like every other Emacs geek, I used to spend inordinate amounts of time chiseling away at my Emacs config. And this is a graph of my commit activity to my Emacs repo. You'll see how it has pretty much died down over the last couple of years. My last commit to that repo was back in October 2025. Now, why is that? And you can probably guess the answer. It's because of agents and AI and so on. But the original reason I was so into Emacs, other than it being a very elegant piece of software, of course, was that I was constantly fashioning Emacs into my first class computing cockpit. I was using it as my primary interface for doing all or most of my work on the computer. Because as a developer, pretty much all my work was text based. And yes, occasionally I'd break out into an IDE or I'd have to do things in a browser. But I tried to do a lot of interaction through Emacs because it had, of course, a nice interaction model. It had Emacs Lisp for extensibility. And using all that, you can really shape the tool to fit your needs. You can essentially implement all your custom workflows within Emacs. And then it has all these great tools like Magit for Git, which is a way nicer interface to Git than the command line and other tools. It has elfeed for reading RSS feeds that I still use, by the way. But the big change that happened was, of course, that my usage shifted to agents. And I've made content about this on the channel as well, which is that I now try to use my personalized Claude and Codex setup as my primary entry point into using my computer. So I try to have the agent do tasks for me as much as possible. And of course, the fraction of tasks that it can do for me has only been growing over time. And when I need some sort of UI, I'll have it create a single page HTML file for me or construct a throwaway app for me, which is very specific to that particular query or that particular workflow. So everything is just getting subsumed into agents. And over time, I've built up a decently large collection of skills, which talks about all the workflows I do commonly or frequently. Of course, over that same period of time, my general output, as measured by my GitHub commits, has gone parabolic. And I suspect this is a pattern for many people. Their output has gone parabolic, and yet the number of tools they're using has probably shrunk a lot over the last few months in favor of channeling everything through agents. And while currently this is most common in developers and developer adjacent crowds, I think most of knowledge work is going to go this way. You see signs of it happening already. Of course, with generative UI getting more capable, the model's getting faster and better at generating UI. Just throw away highly customized one-time use or few-time use UIs. That will make this kind of stuff even more prevalent. It'll reduce tool sprawl. It'll reduce the number of different UIs or interfaces or just different SaaS things that people use, all in favor of agents with their highly customized throwaway generative UI. I have a slight tinge of nostalgia because Emacs was great. I loved using it. I loved tweaking it. I loved procrastinating with it. But the times they are a changing. All right, I'll see you in the next one.